family tree has roots deep in the British Isles, Ireland, Scotland, and England. The year was 1649 when Charles I of England lost his head. He had been fighting with Parliament and Oliver Cromwell for years. Our ancestor, Sir Anthony Jackson, was a friend of Charles, and as a result was charged with treason. He spent 8 years imprisoned in the Tower of London. To make things more interesting, Anthony's sons were supporters of Cromwell. In 1649, they left for Ireland, where Cromwell was basically eliminating the Catholics and giving their land to his supporters. That seems to be the way this branch of the family migrated from England to Ireland. Earlier in 1637, Charles had reintroduced the Book of Common Prayer to Scotland and declared the king was to be the spiritual leader of the church. A group calling themselves Covenanters were opposed and signed a national covenant in 1638, objecting to the king's interference in the Presbyterian Church of Scotland. About the same time as the Jacksons moved to Ireland, Samuel McCaughey, a Scottish Covenanter, also took advantage of Irish lands being made available. This brought the McCaughey's from Scotland to Ireland. Fast forward to 1769, as these two family lines merge, when a Jackson descendant, Margaret Carr Jackson, marries Samuel McCaughey's grandson, William Billy McCaughey, in Limavady, Londonderry, Ireland. This document is from their church, dated May 23, 1773, recommending Billy and his family to a church in North America. They arrived in Philadelphia in the summer of 1773 as the first of the McCaughey's in the colonies. By 1776, Billy was fighting for his new country in the War for Independence, along with his wife's half-brother David Jackson, who had come to Pennsylvania earlier. They were both in the very pivotal Battle of Trenton after George Washington crossed the Delaware River December 26, 1776. Unfortunately, David lost a hand. Billy served again in 1777 and later in 1782. By 1806, they were living and farming in the northeast corner of Ohio, in a village called Jefferson. Billy had been a weaver in Ireland and continued the trade in Ohio, while Margaret spent 20 years as a midwife. He is buried in the old Seceder Cemetery, which means he stayed a Scottish Presbyterian. Their grandson, William Montgomery McCaughey, moved to Iowa about 1857 after the death of his first wife and subsequent marriage to Nancy Boren. Nancy was the descendant of the McCaughey-Jackson family's first ancestor in the colonies, Quaker Giles Knight. He came to Philadelphia in 1682 from England, 90 years before Billy and Margaret. They were forced to live in a cave when they first arrived, but Native Americans in the area helped them construct a teepee while they were building their log house. Nancy and William were the parents of several children, but the focus right now is on two. Mary McCaughey, born in Des Moines, 1857, and her brother John William, born 2 years later. Mary was the mother of Archie Gamble, grandmother to Leonard Gamble, and great-grandmother to Patricia Gamble Barber. William was the father of 10 children, one of whom was John Albert McCaughey, who was the father of 8. One of those was Anne Fay McCaughey Williams, mother of Ron Williams. Our roots in the British Isles eventually led to branches in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and Iowa.